welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble and I'm here with your readings for March the 26th through April the 1st. I can't believe we're in April already. It's crazy. So first of all, thank you for liking my videos, for sharing them on your social media, for commenting. I read every comment, for subscribing if you haven't already. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And please check out my Patreon page. I have a Patreon page. The link will be below, and it'll also be on my YouTube channel, and just check it out. It's another way to just support me, and I want to thank my patrons. I just started it a week or so ago, and it's just thank you. Now, I just wanted to do a little astrological report first. Also, personal readings are below. These are for general readings. They're for your sun, moon, and rising. You'll find those links to the other videos down below, so you can click on your sun, moon, and rising. And I will put a timeline if you're checking out more than one video, where to skip this intro, because I'll put this intro on everything. So the big news is the full moon in Libra on the 31st. Now, this is a blue moon. We call it a blue moon. That's how it comes, once in a blue, right? Once in a blue moon. It's usually every 2.5 years, but we actually had one in January. But we didn't have only because we didn't have a full moon in February, because it was 28 days. It was too short. So we have 2 full moons, and the second moon is not really blue. It's just called a blue moon. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go to astrology. So this very powerful full moon is in Libra. Now, Libra is about love. It's about relationship. It's about harmony. It's no conflict. It wants to be balanced, and that's wonderful, right? Yes. But at the same time, the Sun and Mercury, which is retrograde, is opposing it, and that's in Aries. And also we have Mars in Capricorn and Saturn opposing it too. So there's this, there's Leo. There's the full moon in Libra out there on its own, trying to balance all this energy, and it's going to be a little challenging. Now, so they're all challenging aspects. Now, the thing that's going to save us somewhat is that, okay, the Sun is about, your identity, me, shining on me, right? And Mercury is about communication. But Mercury is retrograde, so when a planet's going forward, it's about what you project outward, right? So when it's retrograde, it's about going in. So, with this Mars energy, we're going to want to we'll perhaps, say something really fast without thinking. So with Mercury in retrograde, it might slow it down a bit. Also with Saturn there. Saturn, Mars is about action, moving forward really fast, and Saturn's about no, slow, stop, and may even put blocks in place to slow you down, right? It's known as the planet of accidents. Sometimes it's just to slow you, stop. You need to slow down. It's the planet of teaching lessons, right? So it's a dynamic energy that's happening this week. And if we look, full moons are usually a culmination, right? It can be the ending of something. It can be, releasing relationships. It can be releasing behaviors that aren't working for us anymore. It can be releasing the way we react or respond, or releasing friendships. It can be about forgiveness. It can be about healing. It's a good time to kind of reflect and to go in and see what no longer works for us anymore. That's what a full moon is really good for. And also it can be the culmination and, you know, the blossoming of something that you've really worked hard on. And it could be the culmination of all that. You know, your intentions at the first moon, right? At the new moon, go back and see what your intentions were. That's why I always write mine down and see if anything's come to fruition. It's really interesting, really is, to do that. Now, what else is going on? I have to put my glasses on and look at my notes for this. Yes, it can be very emotional and sensitive for some people. Of course, that's the new moon, right? We could be extremely sensitive when somebody says something and we could really be hurt by it. So it's important to really think before we speak, like bite your tongue. You know, take a deep breath in. Think about what you're going to say. And also what you can say, what you say may be misconstrued. Now, Venus will have moved into Taurus, and Venus is at home in Taurus, darling. She's going home. She's feeling really good. She'll be languishing on the couch, eating bonbons, taking, you know, rose petal baths. She's going to feel romantic. She's going to feel wonderful. So you've got this wonderful energy. And at the same time, she's moving into a really nice aspect to Uranus, which is the planet of surprises. Meet a new love. We could bump into someone unexpectedly when we least expect it, right? It could be about, you know, Venus is about finances too. We could have some surprises with finances. So I feel that this is a really interesting and a really lovely energy coming in. And I think this is a really opportune time to focus on, you know, equality and balance, because that's what Libra is about. And look what's happening, you know, across the nation. It's all the young people are you know, rising up and what amazing speakers they were. I was blown away by that. Anyway, listen, that's getting on something else. Anyway, that was just so moving to watch that. To watch all those young people so articulate and so confident and so done with what's going on. Power to you guys. You're going to save us. Anyway, let's go to your card, shall we? Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your reading for March the 26th through April the 1st. And oh, my hair's a mess, I'm sorry. And the first card that comes up for you is love, 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 love. This is a card, look, this is just one person, right? This is not two people. This are two, I see two butterflies, so I see change and I see a rose. This is about love and acceptance of yourself. Listen, I'm a life coach, right? And the first thing I ask people to do is I ask them to do mirror work, because it is so important to love and just accept yourself as you are. Ask yourself, look in the mirror and look into your eyes and ask yourself, do I love you? Do I love this person looking back at me? Do I unconditionally love this person? Observe your thoughts as you're looking at yourself. Are you criticizing yourself? And Virgo, we know that your shadow side is criticizing, right? And I think you're probably your own biggest critic. Step back and really practice loving and appreciating yourself. It's so important. We can't attract the love that we desire if we're not loving ourselves, right? You know, we have to be aware of the internal dialogue. We have to become aware of it if we're not aware of it. Really look deep into your soul and ask that question. You have to love your body the way it is too. If you're feeling overweight, it doesn't matter. You still, look, I remember as a teenager thinking I was fat. I would love that fat body right now. It was about half the size of what I am now. Probably less. I don't know. But it's interesting because we spend our whole lives criticizing ourselves, criticizing our body, criticizing our hair, criticizing the way we look, and all this surface outside stuff. And what we don't understand is that once we accept ourselves as we are, only then can we become what we think we want to become, because then we are. Right? Because then we love ourselves. And I always use that, Cromwell quote, paint me warts and all, right? When it was the fashion to kind of airbrush paintings, that, people would have these portraits done and they would be flawless, they would be painted without any of their flaws. And he was the first person of his time, and he said to the portraiture, the painter, paint me warts and all. And he had warts, and he was painted warts and all. And that's it. Love yourself, warts and all, darling. This is it. It's about that deep love within yourself. And you really have to, you're an analyst, you analyze it. Analyze how you feel about yourself and really change that. Once you have awareness, when awareness comes into play, then we can change it. And this is about letting that go, right? You're holding on to something. It's like holding on. I know my friend, she always says, well, I'm going to start dating as soon as I lose weight. Well, that's been a few years now. Just accept yourself as you are. People love sometimes curvy girls. They love it. You've got to love yourself. They will love you when you love yourselves. I remember this. I was on the beach at Coney Island, and I was kind of young. I don't think my son was born. And I was very slim, but I thought I was fat, right? And I was sitting on this blanket with my friend in Coney Island, and we were on the beach. And then there were these 3 really large black women, and they were dancing, and I was mesmerized by them. They looked at me, you knew that they loved themselves, and they were huge, but they were so sensual and sexy and beautiful. I couldn't take my eyes off them. Guess what? Nobody else could. All these guys were coming down the beach, like, whistling at them, and they had all this attention, and they were just loving it. And I was like, God, I want to be like them. Because they love themselves. Everyone was attracted to that. That's what we're attracted to. So drop the criticism. Let that go. Don't hold on to that. Allow it, release it. And this full moon is a perfect time to release those belief systems, Love yourself as you are. We're all flawed. Every single human, even the top models have flaws. So we have to remember that. And we have to love ourselves as we are. And then the next card that comes in is the 8 of Air. Darling, look at the truth. Take the blindfold off and see the truth. See what a wonderful, beautiful person you are. See how amazing you are. Just look at the truth in the situation. Ask yourself, what am I hiding? Look, my sister is perfect at this. She's a Taurus. She's a Virgo. And, Virgos are the social workers of the zodiac. They'll help you at a heart's beat. They've got compassion and empathy. And she would much rather help someone else than, deal with her own feelings at times. So this is about, bringing your feelings up to the surface, looking at the truth in the situation. How are you feeling? Are you happy in your relationship? Are you happy in your job? Are you happy where you live? This could be anything that you've got to ask yourself. You really have to look at the truth. This card comes in and saying, listen, bring it up. You can't heal those feelings or that situation if you're not looking at it. And you've got, clarifying it, you've got the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is someone that's very charismatic, but rushes in very kind of impetuously at times and impulsively. And that's very the astrological energy this week, right? So this is saying, you know, don't act impulsively. Just be aware and stop and think. Think about how you're feeling about yourself or how you're feeling about the situation. Don't just rush in. And, you know, when you look at this feeling, right, this is also running away from your feelings too. So you don't want to run away from your feelings. You want to stay and you want to be in them. And as uncomfortable as they are, right, sometimes those feelings are very uncomfortable, but we have to feel them in order to move on. It's healthy to allow your emotions to go. I mean, I was just blubbering and crying in the last video. I may have to edit that out, so if it's that terrible. The next card you have, Virgo, is the King of Air. Look at this guy. He's very wise. He's intelligent. He is akin to the Justice card. He's righteous. He does everything. When he comes in, it's like, look at the karmic value for every decision that you're making and do everything for the higher good of everyone. And that includes you, Virgo. Do everything for your higher good too. But, you know, of course, I don't have to ask you to take everyone else into consideration because you automatically do that, being a Virgo. So look at that gorgeous, you know, the eagle. He's wise. He doesn't have any problem in judging a situation. So this is really drop the judgment. That's what I'm getting. Oh, got goosebumps there. Drop the judgment. You have to be very careful not to judge too fast. It's like, don't, you know, it's so easy to go in and judge and have this preconceived idea, but this is asking you to hold back. This is the very Mars rushing in energy, right? But Saturn is going to say, hold back. Don't judge so much. Just wait and see. You know, you're being slowed down because if you move too impulsively or impetuously, it's not a good thing for you. And you have the Knight of Cups, right? The Knight of Cups is also, listen, things are going to move forward for you this week. Definitely. I see a lot of forward movement. The Knight of Cups is bringing you intuition and psychic abilities. So use your gut feeling, but hold back. And this is, you know, love too. This is about love. This is all, look, you know, Venus is moving into Taurus, it's home light. You're going to feel that love. Feel that love for yourself, Virgo. Really work on that. Love yourself the way you love others because you are a really wonderful, loving person. Just love yourself. Drop the criticism, drop the judgment. Be very careful not to criticize yourself and others this week. That's the message in this reading. Virgo, mwah, I love you all, and I'll see you next week. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email mary@liveinthesolution.com.